Tonight, a threat through a virtual assistant.
It was a very unusual thing. I've never heard of it before.
New details on what led to Cambridge Centre being evacuated and searched.
This situation is a real teachable moment for the management of the mall.
And the change already in place. And a piece of the past found at Fergus's former hospital.
The capsule was laid there, I guess, in 54, 55 when they were building the hospital.
A 70-year-old time capsule discovered during demolition, now cracked open.
It's great to see what was in it.
Good evening. An AI tool designed for convenience instead inciting panic. Waterloo Regional Police evacuated Cambridge Centre Mall yesterday after a bomb threat was called in. The threat was reported using the mall's website, AI Virtual Assistant. Once mall officials notified police, a search was conducted and the threat was deemed not credible. We're now joined by CTV's Karis Mapp, who was at the mall yesterday while police searched the building. Karis, this is clearly not how the tool was intended to be used.
Well, Krista, the virtual assistant chatbot lets shoppers inquire about mall hours, store listings, even employment opportunities. However, when the threat was reported, there was also an emergency help option for notifying mall officials about situations like an active shooting and bomb threat. Shoppers say they were relieved Thursday morning after a reported bomb threat at Cambridge Centre Mall was deemed not credible. Mall staff calling in the threat after seeing it reported using the mall website's AI chatbot.
It is incredibly common for websites from all sorts of businesses, including public-facing ones like malls, to include a chatbot. The problem with AI-powered chatbots integrated into websites and apps is that they're really good with routine kinds of questions and answers, not so good when there's an emergency.
In a statement to CTV News, Cambridge Centre's general manager says in part, regardless of how they are received, all messages of this nature are taken seriously and established safety protocols are followed. A useful tool for legitimate emergencies, but what's stopping anyone from misusing the bot?
Whenever you're designing an automated system like this, you have to have a very clear path in place for members of the public to use in case of emergency, and that does not seem to have been the case here.
The entire emergency help option has since been removed from the virtual assistant. Some in favor of the decision.
I just can't imagine, other than trying to do something surreptitiously, that a victim caught in a place would want to report it that way. You know, you could do all sorts of things to notify the police in some fashion.
Others think the tool could be useful if updated.
What you would want to do is look at this particular case, analyze all aspects of the communication, and learn what was done right, what was done wrong, and how you need to update that technology going forward.
In a world with continuously evolving technology, some say these types of tools are the future. It's how they're used that's going to make a difference.
We're going to see things in AI we haven't even thought of yet over time. So the police have to have the ability to sort through that.
This situation is a real teachable moment for the management of the mall.
Waterloo Regional Police have not provided an update on the investigation. Once again, the emergency help option has been removed since yesterday's bomb threat. It's unclear whether it will be making a return in the future. Krista.
CTV's Karis Mapp reporting for us tonight. Thank you, Karis. A second arrest has been made in the fatal shooting of an international student struck by a stray bullet in Hamilton. 21-year-old Harsimrat Randhawa died on April 17th after being hit while waiting for a bus. Police say a 26-year-old man was arrested yesterday in North York and charged with 3 counts of attempted murder. A 32-year-old man was charged with first-degree murder in the case on Tuesday. Police say at least 7 people in 4 cars were involved in a dispute that led to the shooting. Time for a check on the weather, and Alex Pinto is live on location tonight at the Kitchener Blues Festival in the city's downtown core. Alex, this weekend is jam-packed with performances, and it is already getting busy there.
Oh, yeah, it's already starting to get busy down here in downtown Kitchener, Krista. And yeah, it's a big milestone year, too. 25 years for this festival. We're starting to see people line up and down King Street. We are waiting for our first performance here outside City Hall to get underway. And I'm joined live now by Peter Beacock, president of Kitchener Blues Community Inc. Thank you so much for your time, Peter. So, yeah, a milestone year, lots to see and do. What can people expect this year?
They can expect a really eclectic mix of pure blues, modern blues, what we would call sort of new natural folk style of music. There's something for everyone. Most of the blues people are, of course, long gone now. The next generation is reflecting that music back to the next generation of listeners.
You were mentioning before dozens of performances, live music, and free over the weekend, too. How many performances and how many people are expected this year?
So the number of performances, there's 58 free performances on 14 stages over the 3 days of the festival, and we typically receive between 140 and 170,000 people over the 4 days of the festival.
What's it like for you to see all these people coming out from the community to enjoy this free event, enjoy all the music, the vendors too? What's it like after, I guess, taking, well, months and months to put this together?
So the volunteers and the festival board put in nearly 6,000 hours to create this 100-hour gift to the community. And all we ask them to do is to come and support, get together, learn how to live with each other, and have a great time with the music that we all love.
Peter, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy this. Now you get to relax a little bit.
It's too late to do anything now. We're just going to have some fun. Come to downtown Kitchener.
Thank you so much. And yes, one of the first performances you can see right behind me, just about to take the stage. That is Miss Angel and the Homewreckers, which opens up on the Friday night here. But lots to see and do. Again, the 25th year for this event, which is really exciting. So the fundraising concert also yesterday featuring Burton Cummings, that took place yesterday evening, and that officially, I guess, kicked off festivities here. So yeah, lots on the go. We're going to definitely have a fun hour, but good news for us, we're seeing a nice little bit of a breeze, and we got some cloud cover, which is great to see. Some welcome news, especially with the heat warning that was issued by Environment and Climate Change Canada this afternoon. So this multi-day heat event starting on Saturday, daytime highs 30 to 33. With that humidex, though, it could feel more like 40. Now here we are getting a little sprinkle on and off here in Kitchener-Waterloo. If you are in the Wyerton area, Sauble Beach, under a severe thunderstorm watch there right now, so keep an eye on the skies in that area, but we're hopefully keeping our fingers crossed that the heavy rain will hold off for us here in downtown Kitchener. Right now 27 in KW, 27 in the City of London, and 29 in Sarnia, but with that humidex, yeah, it is feeling warmer. 34 right now here in KW, 32 in Mount Forest, and 30 in Barrie. So at least we're not seeing or feeling what's closer to 40 just yet, but lots to see, do, plenty of entertainment, lots of free, again, live music over the weekend. So it's going to be a blast. We're going to stick around here and check in just a little bit. Krista.
Thanks, Alex. Looks pretty fun already. Well, lawyers representing residents of a downtown Kitchener encampment were in court today seeking an injunction regarding a regional bylaw that would clear residents from that land to make way for a new transit hub. They want the bylaw to be put on hold since court proceedings on its constitutionality won't begin until November. CTV's Spencer Turcott brings us the latest from the courthouse.
Lawyers representing residents of a long-standing encampment at 100 Victoria Street in Kitchener are seeking a court injunction over the region of Waterloo's plans to clear it to make way for a transit hub. At an injunction motion hearing on Friday, lawyers for the residents argued the region's site-specific bylaw should be put on hold until it's decided whether that bylaw is charter compliant. The bylaw has allowed staff to move forward with preparing the site for construction, which includes transitioning residents to alternative housing options. But the lawyers lawyers representing encampment residents told court local shelter capacity falls short by 80% of what the community needs, adding encampment residents face potential death as a result of the site-specific bylaw because of things like rape, frostbite, and hunger. The bylaw requires the site to be vacant by December 1st to allow enough time for necessary site preparation. But Mercedes Perez, who is appointed to represent the remaining unnamed encampment residents, asked whether a transit hub is more important if it comes at the cost of 1 life, 2 lives, 10 lives. Meanwhile, lawyers representing the region of Waterloo requested that court dismiss the motion, arguing some places are just not suitable for encampments and that there is a public interest in the region being able to use public property to benefit the public. The region's lawyers also say regional staff have been bending over backwards to provide encampment residents with alternative places to stay, and say only 13 encampment residents remain out of the original 40 that were there before the bylaw went into effect in April. They argue no court intervention is required and say the December 1st deadline allows everyone to focus on the task at hand. It's something lawyers for the Attorney General echoed, suggesting the motion for an injunction should be dismissed. In the end, Justice Gibson said he will reserve his decision given the complexities of the case. A hearing date has been scheduled for November 19th to 21st. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News Kitchener.
We turn to a mystery surrounding a major police investigation at a homeless encampment in Barrie. It began more than a week ago, and today officials fenced off the entire site next to an industrial area. One man has been arrested, but police aren't saying much more about the case. CTV's Luke Samard reports.
For 9 straight days, Barrie police have had this encampment area behind me blocked off. No one in and no one out. Now, fencing put up by the city of Barrie is now in place, and it remains unclear how long the fencing will stay as Barrie police continues their investigation. Forensic officers deep inside this wooded area entering the investigation site. Late last week, Barrie police said they were conducting an investigation but were vague on what for and for how long. More than a week later, they remain silent. Former OPP Commissioner Chris Lewis says he's surprised by the lack of information from police given the scope of the investigation.
And they're keeping fairly tight-lipped, which is really uncommon in this day and age when the police generally should be giving more information than less when they can. So this has to be something significant.
Here is what we know. August 1st, Barrie police began a search for this man, 52-year-old Robert Ledeseur, listing him as the primary suspect. He was arrested in Midland Saturday, August 2nd, with assistance from Southern Georgian Bay OPP. A couple of brief court appearances later, he is facing 19 charges, 17 of them weapons-related. Barrie police have decided to keep everyone in the dark, leading to frustration.
It certainly causes rumors in the community. There will be everything, all kinds of rumors from X to Y involved in this. But there, once again, there has to be a good reason that Barrie police aren't releasing information given the 9 days.
Given the area blocked off and the length of time, Lewis adds there's likely complex layers to this investigation.
9 days, and in this specific location, they must be silting through sand and dirt and screening a dig or something to that effect.
The Ministry of Environment also arrived on scene Friday, but requests for information have gone unanswered. Again, it is unclear how long Barrie police will remain here and how long the construction fence will stay put up. None of the allegations against Robert Ledeseur have been proven in court. Luke Samard, CTV News, Barrie.
The tennis world is still buzzing after that stunning win last night by 18-year-old Victoria Mboko. She nabbed the title at the National Bank Open in Montreal, battling through a wrist injury and beating all expectations. Her meteoric rise getting a lot of attention, and she now has her sights set on the U.S. Open later this month. CTV's John Venevali-Rao reports.
For Victoria Mboko, it was a magical moment and the stunning end to a fairy tale run in Montreal.
I think when I had that winning moment and seeing so many people standing up and cheering for me, it was kind of a surreal experience.
Mboko taking the tennis world by storm after beating the former world #1 Naomi Osaka. Among the 4 Grand Slam champions, the 18-year-old unexpectedly bested to get to the top at the Canadian Open.
Honestly, I would have never believed that I was going to end up in this exact moment, so it's just amazing.
On social media, now retired Canadian tennis star Eugenie Bouchard simply writing, Vicky.
She was very passionate about playing.
In Burlington, Ontario, her former coach said Mboko started playing tennis when she was around 4 years old. And from the outset, he says her competitive spirit was notable, constantly wanting to beat her much older siblings.
Even from a tender age of like 5 or 6, when she was on the court training, she was very locked in. Unusually so for somebody that young.
Mboko was born in North Carolina to Congolese parents, but grew up in Toronto, and until recently was largely unknown, getting a bit of attention in late May when she made it to the third round of the French Open. This time last year, Mboko was ranked 351st in the world, but has now jumped to 24th and is the highest-ranked Canadian player, beating Osaka Thursday while playing with a wrist injury that had her at the hospital getting an MRI before that final match, making the win even more remarkable.
We've seen tennis players miss an entire season with a wrist injury.
Mboko will now take a few days off to look after that wrist and get ready for the U.S. Open, which begins in about 2 weeks. John Valley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
A captivating performance this week in Montreal. Well, a reminder to start your day in the know with our CTV News Kitchener newsletter. Get the best local content from CTV News straight to your inbox. We've got today's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Still to come on CTV News, a renewed effort to recruit and retain more members for Canada's military. The Prime Minister announces new financial incentives for soldiers. We have details on the salaries and bonuses being offered coming up.
I'm Heather Erin, cracking open a piece of history. A time capsule was found in the walls of the Fergus Hospital before it was torn down, and its contents from 70 years ago are revealed for the first time. That story is just ahead.
We are live here at the Kitchener Blues Festival, where performances are officially hitting the stage. Lots to look forward to over the weekend. I'll let you know how warm it could get with that heat warning in place if you do have plans to come down coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. See it happen. Send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Staff at the new hospital in Fergus got their hands on a piece of history today, a time capsule found during demolition of the old Groves Memorial Community Hospital. This afternoon, its contents were revealed. CTV's Heather Erin joins us live with more. Heather, how long ago was this capsule put together?
70 years ago, Krista. Cracking it open today was the chief of staff and a family physician who has long ties to the old hospital before it was torn down. This is what the old Groves Memorial Community Hospital looked like before it was demolished last year. Turns out hidden within the walls of one of the hospital wings was a time capsule.
Yeah, so the capsule was laid there, I guess, in 54, 55 when they were building the hospital at that time.
70 years later, to help uncover what's inside, the current chief of staff at the new Groves Memorial.
Oh, wow. The voters list.
And John Stickney, whose career at the old site spans 4 decades.
Still working part-time.
Newspapers from 1954 and 1955 were inside, along with pamphlets and a union book. One of Stickney's favorite findings, the blueprints to the old building, bringing back memories of his years starting as a family physician.
We walked those halls and we took care of babies and sick children.
The blueprint bringing back personal memories too.
I was just looking at the obstetrical area, which is where my children were born in that particular room, and one of my grandchildren.
While staff say the modern building was much needed, it's good to reminisce.
I think the square footage of the building is probably close to double the old square footage, but that's simply because the modern needs and space is bigger and different than it was back then.
Many history buffs came for the unveiling, excited to see the capsule contents.
No, it's great to see what was in it and how well things didn't mold, or it was well preserved.
The most unique find, a handwritten letter from a counselor at the time, describing what life is like in the 1950s.
That they were in peace and security, and they hoped that we were as well, and that we'd remembered things that mattered and things that were important. That they valued the town and the growth and the people that made the town great.
The note ending with a prediction from its writer saying we're traveling faster than the speed of sound, but you're probably traveling in space.
They were going into space in the late 50s and the 60s for the Apollo missions, right? And then landing on the moon in '69, and then of course the space shuttle through the 80s and the 90s and 2000s until that finished, and now we're into commercial space travel.
The hospital's current staff say they will be putting together a new time capsule for the next generation of healthcare providers to uncover one day.
The chief of staff did note wherever they decide to put the next time capsule, they will try to do it in a way that it is clear that it is there, because they almost didn't see this time capsule as it was hidden and a big surprise to find. Krista.
Amazing, and a good idea to let people know it's there in the future. CTV's Heather Senerin reporting. Researchers at Western University are tackling aviation-induced climate change by using existing cameras to track contrails. CTV's Rita Ismail reports.
They're called contrails, short for condensation trails, visible in the sky. And according to scientists, these thin white trails impact the environment.
The global aviation is a significant source of climate change impact, and a portion of that is actually not direct CO2 emissions, but the secondary effects that come from contrails.
This is where the flight actually is, that red dot.
In an effort to mitigate the impact of contrails, a team of researchers from Western, along with the Global Meteor Network, is working with an experienced pilot to change the flying altitude of planes by using ground-based cameras to observe aircraft.
A small percentage of flights, about 15%, would need to make little corrections just in a height that don't cost much to eliminate contrails entirely. The major problem is that there's no data to inform the models and to send the airplanes in the right direction, and we're changing that with our project.
The project is now financially backed by Google and Breakthrough Energy.
There was a need for model verification, validation, and it occurred to me that we could use the Global Meteor Network to validate the contrail models.
Contrails can induce warming of the Earth.
Vita says existing satellite systems, on average, detect contrails 30 minutes after formation, limiting their utility for actionable mitigation.
The goal is that, in the last couple of years, there was a big growth of the network with thousands of cameras around the world, and now we want to expand our capabilities. So we have the data, and we want to just do something for the world and the general public and for science with the data set that we have.
Rita Ismail, CTV News. A legally blind Toronto woman is bringing her experiences to the stage in an immersive experience called Rainbow on Mars. And as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, it includes other blind performers and dancers from the National Ballet.
Devin Healy grew up with a genetic form of blindness that eventually left her legally blind in her final year of theater college.
One day in particular, it made itself noticeable to me. And this noticing of blindness visually and physically in my body completely shifted.
She can only see a circle of light around her main field of vision, but she says she has no desire to have her vision restored.
At first, I didn't understand it as for the better. It was quite devastating and confusing. But as I opened myself up to the world in a new way through blindness, it opened up not only theater, but also academia and now dance to come together in I think, a really exciting and dynamic way.
And that has resulted in Rainbow on Mars, a production that brings the audience along to experience her journey into blindness. It includes several other performers who are also blind, and even dancers from the National Ballet.
The hope is that we disturb the isolation of the senses a little bit And so you kind of slow down a little bit and think, maybe I can't trust my eyes in the way I thought I could. Or maybe sight is playing a bit of a trick on me and I should listen a little bit closer to what blindness is telling me.
I love both how personal and universal Devon's story is. So it's this story is very personal to Devon's own experience. It's allegorically about her moving into blindness. But I also think on a larger level, the piece has something to say about anyone who has a moment of realizing they're a little bit different or that they perceive the world in a different way.
Co-director Mitchell Cushman says the production will be an immersive experience.
We're always looking to create theater that's an active experience for our audiences. You're not only going to experience those elements with your eyes, but with your whole body.
The limited engagement runs from August 9th to the 20th at Daniels Spectrum on Dundas Street East. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
And here's a live look outside at Blues Fest. That's the Homewreckers performing right now in downtown Kitchener. We have blue skies right now, humid. If you're outdoors, be aware that there is a heat warning in place and it's going to stay in place for the next several days. Alex will have the details after the break. Also ahead, back to the bargaining table, Air Canada and the union representing its flight attendants in talks, hoping to avoid a strike that could start as early as next week. And new numbers confirm what many young Canadians are finding. It's a tough job market out there right now. A breakdown of July's employment figures is coming up. Kitchener Blues Festival is back, offering free performances this weekend by some notable names. Events will be held all the way until Sunday evening with stages at City Hall, Victoria Park, and other parts of the downtown core. Alex Pinto joins us live once again from King Street downtown. Alex, sounds great where you are right now.
Oh yeah, it is sounding great. It has for the last several minutes or so, and we're starting to see more and more people piling in, enjoying great free performances. So it's nice to feel the energy here in downtown Kitchener, really celebrating community and culture as well. So this is the 25th year as well, so a milestone year for Kitchener Blues Festival. I want to go down to Joe Cormier. You are the director when it comes to the volunteers here. You guys have been busy. How many volunteers, local community members are taking part in this festival this weekend?
This year we have about 270 volunteers, which is great. A lot more than what we've had in the past couple of years coming out of COVID. It's a great time. We have about 760 shifts that are filled over the weekend. I did the math the other day. That adds up to about $55,000 if we had to pay somebody to work those shifts. So it's a big savings for the festival. And our volunteers just keep coming out day after day, shift after shift, giving up their entire weekend in some cases, and just helping us out in every fashion.
I was going to say, it's really about community and culture here. What's it like for you to see so many community members coming together? You get to enjoy a lot of the music too.
Yeah, and what we're seeing lately is a lot of new Canadians volunteering and coming out too, so that's great. And we welcome everybody, and we are happy to welcome you to. Unfortunately, you can't volunteer this year anymore, but we're happy for next year. Sign up on the website, and we'll be happy to fill a shift for you.
So thank you so much. Enjoy the festival and all your hard work too.
Thank you very much.
So yes, plenty to see and do here over the next several days. This, of course, is going right through until Sunday. And when we talk about weather-wise, we're actually starting to see a few raindrops here in downtown Kitchener. So hopefully we're not going to be getting any extreme weather or heavy downpour while there's some great entertainment on stage. But yes, lots to look forward to. So first on stage, Miss Angel and the Homewreckers, who's on right now. The Free Label and Cracker also expected over the weekend as well. Benno and Soundclash, Anna Popovich, Eric Traplin will also be taking the stage. And on Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m., Mel Brown's Mississippi Blues Market Unveiling is also going to take place if you're interested in that on Queen Street. So the full schedule in terms of what performances you can look forward to, and there are dozens and dozens of performances, and they are all free. So if you do have plans to come down here over the weekend, yeah, that heat warning, though, is still going to be be in place. Here's a look at your full forecast. Well, heat and humidity expected to stick with us as we look ahead to the weekend. Environment and Climate Change Canada issuing a heat warning this afternoon for much of southern and southwestern Ontario, so everywhere in the pink that you see here. This multi-day heat event expected to start tomorrow, so Saturday. We could see daytime highs 30 to 33, but with the humidex, it could feel closer to 40 in some areas. Overnight lows 19 to 23, so we're not really getting much relief from that heat. Looking ahead to your evening, chance for a bit of wet weather here in Waterloo region and even further north, Mount Forest. If you're headed to Cottage Country or really a Barrie, you could be in for some wet weather as well. Risk of a thunderstorm. That is expected to stick with us as we get into your Friday evening hours. Once that does pass, though, some scattered showers throughout. Peterborough expected to see some heavier rainfall at times. And once again, Mount Forest, Barrie, you potentially could see a little bit of wet weather to start off your weekend on a Saturday. Just a few scattered showers expected in some areas as we start the weekend. Though that's expected to clear, just a bit of cloud cover as we look ahead to your Sunday. We are expected to see some sunshine as well. Expected high was 28. We actually hit a high of 29 this afternoon, so above normal for this time of year. Record high 37.8. That was set back in 1918, and 4.5 degrees. That was our record overnight low back in 1989. And that sun now setting at 8:36 p.m. Tonight, though, might not be the best night to enjoy that sunset. So overnight, 19 degrees. That is our expected overnight low. Partly cloudy conditions, chance of showers sticking around, and also that risk of a thunderstorm. At this point, just seeing about a 30% chance in terms of some wet weather. Tomorrow, 32 is our expected high, but again, with that humidex and being under that heat warning, it's going to feel closer to 40, or expected to. Mix of sun and cloud, and we could also see some hazy conditions starting in the afternoon. So over the next few days, mix of sun and cloud for your Saturday, but look at that sun expected for your Sunday and your Monday. But again, it's going to be a hot one when we are under that heat warning. We want to make sure we stay hydrated, try to avoid any direct sunlight, stay cool too as well. For Lambton, Kent, and Essex, a warm one for you as well. Mainly sunny sky for your Saturday, sunshine expected for your Sunday, so it might be a nice weekend to be by the water. Southern Georgian Bay, a sunny stretch expected, high in the 30s, sunny conditions, and again, it's going to be hot and humid, so you definitely want to stay cool. As over the next 4 days, more than 100,000 people are expected to come down to Kitchener and enjoy several concerts that are taking place. Some of those concerts right here outside of City Hall and also outside of Victoria Park in Kitchener. There's going to be a stage there as well as people want to celebrate all the music, free music again, and entertainment that you can enjoy over the several-day period. And there are plenty of vendors along King Street and Gawkle as well. So lots of food, lots of family fun too, and entertainment. No shortage of that. Krista.
Thanks, Alex. We'll check in with you again a little later in the show. The federal government is spending $2 billion to give soldiers a pay raise. It's an effort to keep them in the military and to recruit new members. Prime Minister Mark Carney made the announcement at CFB Trenton today, the country's largest Air Force base. As CTV's Judy Trin reports, Canada is still short thousands of troops.
All members of the Canadian Armed Forces will receive a pay raise.
In front of a wall of soldiers at the country's largest Air Force base, the Prime Minister said it was time to recognize the worth of the Canadian Armed Forces.
These are the men and women we trust to wear the maple leaf, the Canadian flag, and to risk their lives for it. Their pay, your pay, should reflect the weight of your responsibilities.
The government will spend $2 billion to increase the salaries for the rank and file. Non-commissioned officers will see raises of between 8 and 20%. An entry-level soldier will now get an additional $700 a month and earn more than $52,000 a year. After he met with soldiers at CFB Trenton, the Prime Minister said better compensation was needed to recruit and retain soldiers to meet current global challenges, not just Russia and China, but also climate change.
The Arctic's melting. Our wildfires and floods are more frequent and devastating. And these are all threats to which the Canadian Armed Forces responds.
For the first time, soldiers will get daily bonus pay when they are deployed on domestic missions to help Canadians during natural disasters. Bonuses will also be given to officers who are deployed to serve in the Arctic and who are deployed overseas. Retention bonuses will also be offered for soldiers who take on additional training. The country's top soldier says this should allow Canada to make up a shortfall of more than 12,700 soldiers before 2030.
We have increased the target for recruits this year. We're at 7,600, which is about 1,000 more than last year. And this is how we are going to gain back to full strength.
Defense officials say this is the biggest pay raise for soldiers since 1998. It also contributes to Canada's commitment to making its 2% NATO target by the end of this fiscal year. Judy Trin, Canadian Forces Base, Trenton.
Bringing books and other educational materials to a place where kids play. Still to come on CTV News, where in Kitchener you'll find this literacy bike for the next couple of weeks. We'll be right back. Air Canada and the union representing 10,000 of its flight attendants returned to the bargaining table today. The talks are an attempt to avoid a strike that could begin in 1 week after union members voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike mandate. It means flight attendants can potentially walk off the job as soon as August 16th with at least 72 hours notice provided. The airline says it is not considering flight cancellations or postponements yet. Instead, it is focused on reaching a deal. The job market is tough for a growing number of Canadians this summer, especially young people. 41,000 jobs were lost in July, largely by people in their late teens and early 20s. But the overall unemployment rate did remain stable. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the latest snapshot of the Canadian economy.
Noah Kelly has been applying everywhere with no luck, and the timing is urgent.
I'm getting evicted because I lost my job, my last job, and now I can't make my rent.
The unemployment rate for those 15 to 24 hit 14.6 in July. That's the highest since 2010, excluding 2 COVID years.
It's been incredibly difficult to find a job, especially as a person who doesn't have experience previously.
Overall, there were 41,000 job losses in July compared to 83,000 gains in June. Hardest hit, full-time workers, down 51,000. The Prime Minister pointed to wage growth as a good sign.
That, combined with the tax cut that we put in place, combined with the removal of the consumer carbon tax and other measures, progress on cost of living. Just to be clear, progress. We're not satisfied that that's enough. There's much more that needs to be done.
But these government workers involved in student hiring say Mark Carney's looming savings targets are already making a difference in their departments.
Hiring this summer has been difficult. You have to look at every specific detail and make sure that this student can be funded.
Less departments are interested because they have less money, they have to cut spending.
Perhaps surprisingly, with the trade war, manufacturing jobs didn't see a big hit, with RBC economists saying CUSMA has softened the blow.
Things are definitely softer. This is not an ideal environment by any sense, but perhaps it's just not as severe of a shock as, what was feared earlier in the spring.
RBC cautiously optimistic that unemployment rate will peak soon, around 7%, and also predicting no further interest rate cuts from the Bank of Canada. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Time now to update our top stories. CTV's Colton Weens joins us in studio with the latest, starting with the aftermath of a bomb threat made in Cambridge yesterday.
Yeah, that's right, Krista. A bomb threat at Cambridge Centre Mall yesterday was deemed not credible, but the threat was made through the mall's website using a chat bot that any shoppers could access. The emergency help option has since been removed, and tech experts say it needs to be clearer for users if it's brought back. Plus, lawyers representing residents of a downtown Kitchener encampment are seeking an injunction regarding a regional bylaw. The bylaw would clear residents from that land to make way for a new transit hub. In court today, lawyers pushed for the bylaw to be put on hold, while lawyers for the region requested that court dismiss the motion. In the end, the justice reserved their decision.
And Colton, online on our website, the web team has a story up about a ban in Kitchener.
Yeah, that's right. It's about a fire ban in the city of Kitchener. The ban took effect this afternoon, banning backyard fires and open burns until further notice. For more information on this story, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app or to download the app right now. You can also visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Krista.
CTV's Colton Weens live with us in studio tonight. Thanks, Colton. The literacy bike, or rather school, is just a month away, but little ones are being encouraged to keep reading and learning through the summer break with a library on wheels that's visiting Kitchener's Victoria Park. The Literacy Bike is a free program run by the Project Read Literacy Network. Parents and children can read books and also play with puzzles, toys, and musical instruments. The program was created to help bridge the summer learning gap.
So having something at the park where anybody can come stumble upon us, it's completely free, so it's accessible to everyone. Like, it's a wonderful way for kids to be reading and continuing to develop those skills over the summer before getting ready for school in the fall.
And if you're interested in checking it out, the Literacy Bike is scheduled to visit Victoria Park Monday to Friday until August 22nd. The search is on for a match for a young eligible bachelor. Meet Hank the Hunk, and did we mention he's a miniature donkey? Still to come on CTV News, Alexandra Hollick learns about the hunt to find him a companion. Stay with us. Finding love on the farm isn't always easy, especially for one young miniature donkey. At 7 years old, Hank is on the hunt for a mate, and his matchmakers at a farm in Erin are using social media to share his journey. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has the story.
Oh, princess!
This Prince Charming is Hank, a 7-year-old miniature donkey looking to meet the love of his life.
We're hoping that Hank can find a Jenny, a miniature Jenny similar to him in size.
The young Jack joined a farm in Erin back in June.
Hank has been a vision of mine for some time. We got our cows first, and I feel like we've always needed a donkey.
He quickly made himself at home, but now the eligible bachelor is on the market.
Hank likes long walks around the farm, through the lavender fields. Yeah, he's just looking for a companion to live out his days with here at Erin Hill Acres.
While Hank here may be single and ready to mingle, his matchmakers here at Erin Hill Acres say there are a few boxes the female donkey or Jenny must check first.
We're looking for a Jenny that is maybe anywhere between the ages of 4 to 8, 4 to 9 years old, potentially.
Princess, where are you?
The farm taking Hank's hunt to social media.
We thought that we were just putting together a funny little video to reach out to our followers and try to find Hank a wife and a love interest.
Something the Donkey Sanctuary of Canada says is possible.
Donkeys do have the ability to bond incredibly deeply with each other.
But sometimes donkeys can be a little stubborn.
A new animal stepping into their territory, sometimes they're a little apprehensive about it. Starting to share resources together, that's a sign of being comfortable and accepting of them.
The farm is accepting applications for Hank's perfect match through Instagram, Facebook, or email.
I guess in the caption or the subject line say, "Attention Hank's wife." I think that would be, or future wife, so that would work out, I think.
All in the hopes that there will soon be some new additions to the pasture. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Erin.
We have more news ahead, but first let's check in with Alex at Kitchener Blues Fest.
Just a couple of drops falling from the sky here in downtown Kitchener, but that's not stopping many people from coming out and enjoying some free live entertainment this evening. If you have plans to come down here tomorrow and for the weekend, I'll let you know how warm it could be first thing in the morning and wake up weather coming up.
Here's what's on CTV tonight for your Friday night entertainment. At 7 o'clock, it's E-Talk before The Big Bang Theory. Then at 8, Match Game before Fear Thy Neighbor at 9 and 10.
Colton is back with a look at what our team is following for later tonight.
Krista will have some of the best sights and sounds from the Kitchener Blues Festival tonight, just the first night of 3 days of free concerts all across the city. Plus, more from a specialized football camp held in Kitchener today, Big Boys of the Gridiron at Resurrection Catholic Secondary School for a camp aimed at the sometimes overlooked lineman position. Krista.
Thanks so much, Colton. And time for one final check on the forecast. Alex Pinto joins us live once again from the Kitchener Blues Festival. Alex, a great weekend for some free live music.
Yeah, there's definitely lots on the go here this weekend. And like you said, it is free. There are going to be dozens and dozens of performances throughout the weekend. And hey, it's not a bad night for a girls' night, too, to come down to the Kitchener Blues Festival. Erin's joining me now. So you're out with your mom and your aunt tonight. Why did you want to check out this event this evening?
Well, I've been coming to the Blues Fest for like probably the whole time it's been happening for 25 years now? Yeah. So I'm 44 now, so I was 19 when I first started coming, and I've always come with my family. We really enjoy blues music.
Nice community event. What do you think of the atmosphere here tonight?
Oh, it's so good. Kitchener is awesome for their events. They always have fun events where a lot of the community comes out to support and be a part of it. So I love being with a lot of people.
Thank you so much, Erin. Yeah, so over the morning, if you're planning to come down here tomorrow, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid. By about 6 a.m. or so tomorrow, we're going to be hitting 18, and then by 10 o'clock, we could be at 26. And again, a reminder that heat warning also in place. So if you do have plans to come down here, you definitely want to pack your water bottles and try to get away from the sun if you can. But yes, it's going to be a weekend filled with fun, free music and family activities. Krista.
Thanks so much, Alex. Enjoy your evening, and thank you for watching tonight. I will be back at 11:30. In the meantime, don't forget to check out the CTV News app for news anytime. Have a good one.